Dear students, in my last lecture, I discussed about some network theorems. In this lecture, I will discuss on some applications of network theorems, especially Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, superposition theorem, and reciprocity theorem. To see the applications, I want to solve some simple problems by using these network theorems. Now, before going to discuss about the applications, I want to remind you the theorems. First, the Thevenin's theorem. Now, what is Thevenin's theorem? Now, according to Thevenin's theorem, any two-terminal linear network containing voltage source and linear resistance may be replaced with an equivalent circuit consisting of a single voltage source of EMF, Thevenin's voltage, and internal resistance, Thevenin's resistance in series. The value of Thevenin's voltage is equal to open circuit voltage between same terminals of the network, and the Thevenin's resistance is equal to the resistance appearing the same terminals of the network when all the sources are replaced by their internal impedance only. To solve a simple problem, I consider this example. We consider this circuit which has a load resistance 2. We want to find the voltage drop across the load resistance by using Thevenin's theorem. Now we have discussed that to solve this problem using Thevenin's theorem, what are the steps? First, remove the load resistance from the load terminals. Next, determine the open circuit voltage across two terminals from where the load is removed. This gives the Thevenin's voltage. First, we remove the load resistance. After removing the load resistance across terminals A and B, we get the circuit, this circuit, whose Thevenin's equivalent circuit can be drawn. Now, across the resistance R2, which is we can calculate the voltage across this resistance, and this voltage is nothing, it will give the Thevenin's voltage. Therefore, it is by using Ohm's law, simple for this closed circuit, I can calculate the current. The current through the circuit or the resistance R2, this 6 ohm resistance is 36 divided by, these are in series, 3 plus 6, it gives 36 by 9 ampere. Therefore, the voltage across A and B, that means which is the Thevenin's voltage, is the current into resistance. Current is 36 by 9, resistance is 6, therefore it is 24 volt. That means the Thevenin's voltage is 24 volt. Next, the voltage source, this voltage source is short circuited to determine the Thevenin's resistance across AB. First, we have to short circuit these two terminals and the load should be disconnected. If the voltage source have internal resistance, then it should be replaced by its internal resistance. Here there is no internal resistance, therefore it is short circuited. Then the circuit become like this. Okay. Now short circuiting voltage V, we get the circuit, this circuit, and then we have to calculate the equivalent resistance across A and B. Here these two resistance R1 and R2 are in parallel. Therefore the equivalent resistance will be 18 by 9, which is 2 ohm. That means the Thevenin's resistance is 2 ohm. Therefore, we have got the Thevenin's voltage and the Thevenin's resistance. Therefore, we can draw the equivalent circuit, Thevenin's equivalent circuit using this Thevenin's voltage and Thevenin's resistance. That means this circuit is equivalent to Thevenin's voltage with series Thevenin's resistance, 2 ohm resistance. Then we connect the resistance across load resistance across A and B. Then the circuit become like this. This is the load circuit. Then it become a very simple circuit, and I can calculate the current through this resistance and voltage across these two in A and across A and B. The current through these two resistance, that means load resistance, will be 6 ampere, and voltage across these two load resistance will be 12 volt. Therefore, by applying this Thevenin's theorem, the complex circuit is simplified, and we can easily calculate the current and voltage across any load. Next one is the Norton's theorem. Again, according to Norton's theorem, any two-terminal active network containing voltage source and resistances can be replaced by current source or current source which is known as Norton current in parallel with the resistance, Norton resistance. The current IN, that means Norton current, is equal to that obtained through the short circuit across the two terminals, and the resistance, that means Norton resistance, is that viewed across the two terminals when all the voltage sources are replaced by their internal resistance only. That means, according to Norton's theorem, say this is a network, we can replace it with a current source IN, which is parallel with a resistance RN, which is known as Norton's resistance. Then you consider this example, the same circuit which was previously used, and you consider the same circuit as shown below. Here the load resistance is 2. Now to solve this problem using Norton's theorem, first remove the load resistance AB from the load terminals and short circuit the terminals A and B. That means by removing this load resistance, I have short circuited A and B. Then determine the current through this short circuit at the short terminals across AB. This gives the Norton's current IN. Okay, this is the circuit, and here this is a short, that means there is no resistance in this line, but it has a resistance. Therefore, the whole current will flow through this short wire, and therefore the current from A to B will be 36. This is the total voltage, total resistance 30 plus 0, which is only 3. Therefore, the current from A to B will be 12 ampere, which is the Norton's current. Next, removing the short, open circuit the terminals, then short circuit all the voltage source. Next, we have to short circuit the voltage source. If it has some internal resistance, it should be replaced with its internal resistance. But in this problem, there is no internal resistance. Therefore, it is short circuited, and then it will become this circuit. Okay. Then, what is the equivalent resistance across AB for this circuit? Here, these two resistances are in parallel. Therefore, the equivalent resistance across A and B will be 18-2, and this is the Norton's resistance. Okay. Therefore, we have got the Norton's current and also the Norton's resistance. Therefore, we can draw the Norton's equivalent circuit. And this is the original circuit, which is equivalent to Norton's equivalent circuit is this. Here, IN is the Norton's current, RN is the Norton's resistance, which are already measured. Okay. Next, draw the Norton's circuit. Okay. Then we connect the load across A and B. Okay. After connecting the load, the circuit becomes like this, and therefore we have to calculate the current for this load resistance. And for this circuit, here this resistance is 2, again the load resistance is 2, both are equal. Therefore this 12 ampere current is equally divided. That means 6 ampere current will flow through this resistance, and another 6 ampere current will flow through this load resistance. Therefore the current through the load resistance is 6 ampere. Okay. Now what is the voltage across this load resistance, which will be 6 into 2, which gives the 12 volt. Therefore by using Norton theorem, we can calculate the current through a load and also voltage across this load. And by using Thevenin theorem or by using Norton theorem, we can easily calculate these two values. Next one is the superposition theorem. Now, according to superposition theorem, it states that in any linear network containing linear resistances and more than one voltage sources, the current flowing in any element is equal to the algebraic sum of the currents that would separately flow in that element by each voltage source separately, all other sources being replaced at that time by their respective internal resistance, if any. To apply the superposition theorem, we consider a simple circuit here. It has two voltage sources and three resistances. So we have to calculate the current for this resistance, 6 ohm resistance RT, and we have to calculate the voltage across this resistance. Now to solve this problem, what have to do? First, we have to short circuit all the voltage sources except one voltage source, or if there are several current sources, then they should be open circuited. And the voltage sources are short circuited, but if they have some internal resistances, then we should replace them with their internal resistances. Here, first we consider the voltage source V1 and the second voltage source V2 is removed, replaced by its internal resistance 2 resistance. Therefore, the circuit becomes like this. Then we have to calculate the current through defined resistances by a simple way. Here, these two resistances are in parallel, and this parallel resistance is parallel with this RT resistance, and therefore we can calculate the equivalent resistance. And the equivalent resistance across B and E will be 4 ohm. Okay. Then we have to calculate the current through this resistance R1. Now voltage source is 100 volt. It has 2 ohm resistance, but and the resistance R1 has also 4 ohm resistance, and the equivalent resistance across BE is 4 ohm. Therefore, the current through resistance R1 will be 100 by 2 plus 4 plus 4, 100 by 10, which will be 10 ampere. Next, we have to measure the current through this resistance 6 ohm. Now, we have seen that the equivalent resistance across B is 4 ohm, and therefore the voltage across B will be 10 into 4, which is 40 volt, and the resistance is 6 ohm. Therefore, the current through 6 ohm resistance will be 40 by 6 ampere. Similarly, current through BCD, the current through this branch will be 10 by 3 ampere. Okay. Then we remove this voltage source 100 volt, and we replace it by its internal resistance 2 ohm here, and we consider the second voltage source 140 volt 2 ohm voltage source. Again, we have to calculate the current through this resistor R2, R1 and R3 for this single voltage source. Okay, and this gives the resistance equation. Again, the voltage resistance equivalent resistance across B will be for these three resistance. These are in parallel. These are in series, which is parallel with this resistance. Therefore, the equivalent resistance across B will be 2, and therefore the current through the resistance R2 will be 14 by 3 ampere, and current through R3 will be 28 by 3 ampere, and the current through this R1 will be 14 by 3 ampere. Therefore, we have calculated the different currents through the resistances R1, R2, R3 for two sources individually. Then add all the current and voltage of over a resistor due to different sources found. We have to sum up the all currents. But if there are several numbers of voltage sources or current sources, then similar procedure is taken for each voltage sources or current sources. Here we have only two voltage sources, therefore we found two current for two voltage sources. Therefore, this will be the resultant current through the resistance R1, which is 14.66. Similarly, current through the third resistance R3, 6 ohm, will be 11.3, and similarly, current through the resistance R2 will be minus 6 ampere. Therefore, by using superposition theorem, we can easily calculate the current through different resistances. Now, what is the reciprocity theorem? Now, the theorem states that in any linear network with impedances and a single voltage source or a single current source, the current in one mesh due to an EMF in another mesh is equal to the current in the latter when the same EMF is placed in the former. That means we can replace the voltage source, say for this network, there are this is a two-terminal network. So in the port 1, say this is the voltage V, and in port 2 the current. Now, according to reciprocity, we can interchange them. Therefore, current may be I across AB, and the voltage across PQ will be V. Now, we can solve. We can verify the reciprocity by using this simple circuit. Here, there are three resistances and one current source, 20 ampere current source. Now, first we have to measure the voltage across these two terminals. That means across DC. Okay. Here the resistance R2 and R3 are parallel, and current through the equivalent resistance R2 and R3 is 20 ampere. This 20 ampere will go through this resistance and also this equivalent resistance. The equivalent resistance, these are in parallel, R2 and R3, therefore their equivalent resistance is 2.4. And thus the voltage across the resistance R3 will be an equivalent resistance into the current. This is the current 20 ampere, 48 volt. And similarly, we can calculate the current through this resistance R3. This is the voltage divided by each resistance 6 ohm, which gives 12 ampere. That means the voltage across this CD will be 48 volt, and current through the resistance is 12 ampere. Next, so now interchange the position of the current source. That is, the current source is connected across CD. Here I have connected the across the CD, and this is opened. Then the voltage across the equivalent resistance R3, 48 volt. Again the voltage across R2, okay, this will be 48 volt because they are in parallel. And therefore a current for this resistance, here the voltage is 48 volt, the resistance is 4 ohm, therefore the current through this resistance R2 is 12 ampere. So in both cases, 1 and 2, the first case and this is the second case, the voltage is 48 volt, and the current through the resistance here, and here the voltage is 48 volt and the current is 12 ampere, and in this circuit also the voltage is again 48 volt and the current through the resistance will be 12 ampere. Therefore, we can verify the reciprocity theorem. Okay, thank you.